Hey, what's up, guys? I decided to make another video, this time on Naruto, the original Naruto series. I just, I made my last video on Bleach, and then I decided, let's rewatch Naruto. I kind of got in the mood to watch it. English dub, as I've been doing. Naruto and Bleach are like the ones you gotta watch, English dub. Anyway, I wrote a whole bunch of notes. I just finished it. I got the whole Blu-ray sets, and I have a couple of the Naruto Shippuden sets. There's only four, three out now, and then four on the 10th of September. So I'll get those, and then I'll just watch the rest of the movie. Anyway, sorry. I really enjoyed this show. The voice acting was really good. A lot of voices from Bleach, especially Ichigo. The guy, well, not especially Ichigo, but Ichigo I noticed a lot. Like the voice actor for Ichigo was in a lot of Naruto in different roles. You know, so that was kind of weird. Cool, I guess. Orohime's Hinata. I kind of like that because it's like the love interest is voiced by the same person. Different, somewhat different voice though. But let me try to see. I'm trying to think of like kind of what to start with. Um, okay, I have never finished Naruto Shippuden. I don't know how far I got. I was watching it back in like 2017, and I got to a point it wasn't dubbed, and I had to stop watching it because I just couldn't like switch. But so I don't really know how everything turns out. I know there's Boruto now and all that shit, but I have no clue how that comes to be. Really, what happens? I feel like I might have some spoilers. I'm not too certain, but yeah, so with that, I know, like, some things that kind of, but I'm just interested to see how they get there. So either way, but something that I didn't, it's been clear since if you start watching the show is how Naruto is obviously the fourth Hokage's son. Okay, so that was extremely kind of clear to me. I can't remember if it was the first time I watched it, but when they show him in the picture on I forget what episode, but it's like early on with the third Hokage, and there's all the photos of the other Hokages, and I'm like, okay, that's but I'm just wondering why nobody told him that, like nobody explained. Not like you don't have to tell him everything. I know eventually he's probably gonna find out everything because we gotta find out everything. Um, and I know like nothing about that, like exactly. Like I know nothing about. I know like the his mom's name, I think, and now I'm forgetting it, but that's about it. And it's just personally for me, I'm just wondering why. And then now this is just an extreme, like nobody would really. I mean, I guess somebody's thought of this, but it's very like why you even think that. But who like why didn't someone just? Well, okay, well this is a good point. Why didn't someone just raise Naruto? Like he didn't have anyone. Like the third Hokage couldn't like actually like raise him like as a as a child, whatever. Like it's kind of fucked that like he was like I want Naruto to be treated like a hero for having the nine-tailed fox sealed inside him, and he just like dumps him off on the fucking street like to live by himself as a child. And the thing I was saying earlier, which is like not many people really thought of or really care about, who raised Naruto from a baby, and then at what age were they just like fuck you, go away, like basically like go live in this apartment by yourself. So that's something where I was like, I think about that, and it's like they say how the fourth Hokage is a hero and all this shit, and it's like you really just kind of, I feel like, did him a disservice. That is his son, and you fucking did him dirty as fuck. Like, and do the villagers not know that that's his son? Like, the villagers who know he has a nine-tailed fox, inside him, whatever. That's like something I'm just curious about. Like, is it a big secret? People might not know because it could be like a whole, you know, Luke and Leia Skywalker, Luke Skywalker type shit where nobody knew who the mother was, type shit like that. So nobody knew who, because he has the Uzumaki name, not whatever the fuck the other guy's name is. So just something I was thinking of. Going into other stuff, I really like this show and like the other characters. I like every character. I'm trying to think of one I didn't. And it's not really popping up. I had like or like some of these filler arcs I didn't like, which I made that Bleach filler arc video, but um other than that, I really didn't have any characters I disliked, and I really liked how they put Naruto with all these different teams, especially towards like the middle and end point, where it's like, okay, so like there's a friendship there, there's a friendship between all of them, where you feel that, and you're like, okay, yeah, they're friends, like to varying degrees, of course, but they're friends. So that was something I really enjoyed, where it's like, if you end up doing that part where it's like, oh, we're friends, like, and it feels real. Um, so that's good. I would like to see. There's like of course, not every character interacts with every other character. But for the most part, they've kind of. I think they've all kind of interacted. Besides Naruto, I mean, like I don't know, but yeah, I have a phone here to check notes. Um, yeah, something that I really liked are some of those one-off episodes. Like the Kakashi face one was hilarious to me. Like that one was really funny, and then the one with the Anbu, I think it was Anbo. I think it's Anbu, where it's the yeah, I can't think of the name, but the animal creature who's like living on Naruto's back. That was a really good one too. Like I just really like those one-off episodes where it doesn't, drag on too long, but it's funny or it's interesting. So I really did enjoy that. Also, some of the like missions they went on, it was just better done, in my opinion, than Bleach, where this shit actually happened and things went down and all this stuff. So it was better done in my opinion, and the missions are like interesting for the most part. There were a couple where I'm like, this wasn't really my thing. I wasn't really too interested in that, or like it would then pick up and I'd be like, okay, well now I'm invested. One I really liked was the water one, with the lady who's like half fish, whatever, like genetically manipulated, whatever the fuck, by Orochimaru's doctor guy, whatever. Um, which I thought like might be some like main plot stuff, but it's really not because it doesn't really have that much to do with Orochimaru. Just kind of showing Anko's past with Orochimaru, which Anko got done dirty as fuck. Like she just got the curse mark. Like she ain't got shit. So I feel pretty bad for her. Although I did like how they revealed that she turned down going with Orochimaru. He didn't abandon her. So that was something. Also, going into actually some more like main story stuff. Really early on, this show feels like the Sasuke show. Like it just really does. Like yes, the focus is on Naruto, but it's like Orochimaru. It's like all he is after is Sasuke. He's an Uchiha. He got all this shit. So it was like I don't know. It was just where in the beginning you're like he doesn't give a shit about Naruto like at all, and he knows the Nine-Tailed Fox is in there, or whatever, but he doesn't do anything about it. So that was something where I was just like, okay, it's a little too focused on him, and they did eventually, explain that and everything like that. So interesting, just but they did end up switching stuff around. Something I really like about this show in particular, but basically kind of like Bleach as well, is the training. How I actually like, I remember watching Naruto for the first time, and I was so interested. Like every time he'd be training, because I'm like, okay, he's gonna get stronger. Like he's actually gonna get stronger, and you feel that. It's not just like he's immediately super strong. Like sometimes it's annoying. It's like he's weak as fuck. Like Sasuke was easily better than him early on, um, and then he gets above Sasuke, and then Sasuke gets the curse mark, and he gets that fucking power. And that fight scene between Sasuke and Naruto, I knew that I remembered that Sasuke like went with Orochimaru. I completely forgot about the whole chase and everything. So I had no recollection of that at all, but that fight was so cool, and just the showing of like they were kind of like how he always wanted to interact with him but he didn't, and how they were similar, after Sasuke's family died or whatever. So that shit was so well done. And like when it's like at the end when they use the Rasengan and the I can't remember what Sasuke's is, but they use that, and then it shows them like his kids, like doing this, and it was like they smile at each other. That shit got me. Like not really to cry, but I was like, damn, that shit was good. So that was a really good arc, and that was like where you also with all those other fights, I really just, I really liked all those characters, and the fights I felt like didn't drag on too long. Sometimes you feel like these fights go on, especially like when it's like just holding off for the main fight. Something that Bleach, Naruto, I can't really think of any other show, but these are like, one of the biggest ones. Are like the whole running thing, where the main character will be running for episodes and there'll just be, other fights and then they cut to them running, thinking something, whatever. And it was like, that's something to me where I was just like, come on, dude. Like, it really is like, I notice it now. And it was just something where they do like kind of bring it up where it's like the hero always gets there late, like just in time or whatever, and it's like that shit really does happen, but it's like for these fights, it'll be like, 5 episodes or something. Naruto's running, jumping across trees, um, which is what they're always doing. They're never running like on the ground, basically. So yeah, that was just something I noticed that was pretty interesting. Not like trying to shit on it or anything, just something I noticed. Sakura. I know there's like the whole joke she's useless, whatever. Or I remember there was. I don't know. I don't really see much about Naruto anymore, but either way, I don't see anything about Bleach either. I don't know. Either way, to get off topic, not to get off topic, but yeah. So Sakura, I really didn't hate her. I didn't hate her. At first she was really annoying to me because she just treats Naruto like shit. Like, and when Sasuke's like, "You're annoying," it's like, yeah, like fuck you, because like, oh, he has no parents, da 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 da, like just some selfish spoiled brat type shit. Like, this dude is all by himself trying to do his best. Like, yeah, he's a little bit, he's a prankster, he's a little bit of an asshole sometimes, but he doesn't deserve that. Like, and Sasuke really did like kind of step up, even though they weren't, really close friends or whatever at that point, and was just like, like, you don't understand, back off, like you're annoyed, whatever. And they do that whole thing, and she's like shocked. That was, I don't know. Sometimes they do that shit for like things that I feel like you really shouldn't be that shocked about. If someone you like calls you annoying, I mean, you'd be upset, but I don't think you'd like fucking like, do the scream face. Um, yeah, so that was something. But she ended up growing on me. She ended up growing on me. She gave Naruto some respect. She started treating them, both well, like not just like favoritism, Sasuke, like fuck Naruto, he can go off die. Um, and then there was the point where Sasuke leaves the village, and she really took a dip there for me because I was so fucking like tired at this point where I'm watching this, right? And it's obvious Naruto, has somewhat of a crush on her. It's not really too much done, so there's not really super love triangle because Sasuke just don't like, he doesn't show any fucking interest. Like, I can't think of one time he shows any interest like romantically. And it was just like, she's like, I love you, take me with you, whatever. And it's like, I'm sitting here, first of all, and I like Sasuke, he's a great character. But I'm like, he is an asshole. I am sorry, but he is. Does he have his reasons? I mean, I guess, yeah. But like, sometimes he's just a straight asshole, and it's like, why do you like this guy? He's literally like, it starts off where it's like everyone liked him, because of his looks, he's handsome, whatever, like Ino. And if you watch my other videos, I'm doing really well with these names here, but yeah, so it was just like, why do you like him? He's done nothing. Like, he's done, he's a cool character. He fights. He's not a terrible human being, but it's just like, and for her to actually say that was surprising. Cause usually I don't do that shit. But she's like, I love you. Take me with you. Whatever. And then they go after him. They fail. It comes out, and she tries to go after him. It's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? And then she like becomes a medical ninja, which was a great choice because she was just so like, it was like, she's so fucking useless. Like, and I'm not hating on her. Like, she just doesn't have it. And it was like, consistently where it's like, even in the tuning exams when they're in the forest or whatever, and Sakura's like, I have to fight them, I have to protect Naruto and Sasuke. She does nothing in the end. Like, she just gets her ass beat, I think. Like, I don't remember her taking one person out. I don't think she does. And it's like, for that to happen where it's like not even one, like, Rock Lee comes in, and then Shikamaru and Choji come in, So it's like she didn't really do shit at the like she held him off, I guess, for a little while. So I guess respect, whatever. But trying to think what else. Oh yeah, there's always somebody notices there's always one asshole in these filler arcs like that's like not a villain but just like an annoying fucking character like he's kind of a douchebag. Just something I wrote down because I just yeah. They really did put Sakura in the background for like this. I don't know how many episodes it was between when Sasuke kind of leaves and the end of the show because basically after that it's like mostly filler. Like I can't think of really much that happens. Besides, I guess Sakura decides to become a medical ninja. There's some interesting like missions and stuff. I'm not shitting on that really. The missions were interesting, like I said. Like even if the missions weren't interesting, just the relationships between them made it enough where I was like, okay, I like that. Yeah. So that was something. Neji kind of grew on me too. He reminded me of Byakuya from Bleach at first, especially with how he like kind of treated Hinata. When he beats the shit out of her during the Shonin exams, like that was pretty fucked. Hinata is great, by the way. Like she is so well done. Um, where I really, really like her. Like sometimes she's a little too timid, but other times like it's just like she's so cool. Like she's a cool fighter. I like the Byakugan. That's something pretty cool. I do like the whole idea of these like was it Genjutsu I think it is, which are like bloodline traits. Um, I'm wondering now. This is like I have no spoilers of this, so I don't know. But I wonder if Naruto has a bloodline trait, um, or not. But either way, so I'm just trying to think of some other stuff. Yeah, so Neji. Oh yeah, so Neji. I like him. Like I said, him and Naruto in the Chunin exams when Naruto beats his ass. That was pretty cool. And then Neji gets like what he kind of needed, like a beat down, and then kind of realizes, yeah, I was wrong. They didn't kill my father or whatever. But also when Naruto was like, when I become Hokage, I'm gonna change how the family works or whatever. I was like, damn, like he's really, he promises all these things. And like I said, I know some spoilers, so I kind of know. Like, I guess spoiler alert, he becomes Hokage. Um, which is cool as fuck. I really like that. I like the whole idea that we're, you know, where I could see like why it should have ended in Shippuden or whatever. But I just like the idea of like another generation kind of thing where you just get to see him in the future. Either way, I have no clue what happens in the future. Really, I just think that's just a cool idea in general. Um, I'm trying to think of like some of my favorite characters here. I gotta say, like I said, Hinata Shikamaru was a really good one. Shikamaru and what's her name? Tamari's relationship is so good. I really like it. There's not too much in them, but when there is, it's just a good back and forth. I mean, after the Chonin exams, because and then the Sand Village betrays him, whatever. So it was just like it was well done. They were enemies, and then when they showed up in the in when they're looking for Sasuke, that was some shit I did not expect, and I was just like, wow, like, and it was so well done. It was just very well done, and I really like the Sand Village people. I mean, Gora is such a good character. Now I'm like just remembering stuff I wanted to mention, but Gora is such a good fucking character who got done so disgustingly dirty. Like Naruto got it bad in the beginning too, not as bad as Gora. He was just alone. Like he was alone. Not everyone knew he had the fox in front of him. He was just alone because he didn't have a family, and then he also just didn't have people like some people would like be like don't hang out with him, don't go over here, and kind of put just put him down, like talk behind his back, whatever. And so there was that parallel, but it wasn't as bad. And just like how like badly done Gar gets, it just like hurt me. I'm like, this dude does not deserve. Like he was like a sociopath, fucking crazy. But when you see the whole flashback with his uncle, and it was like I'm like, oh, like in that scene, where he's like, where Gar is like, oh, so my father ordered you to kill me. First of all, father ordered you, like that's fucked. When got murdered by Orochimaru, good riddance, like fuck you. Um, So yeah, so that was some shit where I was like, oh, okay, so he only did it because the father forced him. And then the guy's like, no, I could have chose. Like I've hated you. I've always hated you. You know, you killed my sister when you were born. It's like, fuck you. Like, fuck you. Just fuck you. Like the dude's like talking about how all he wants is love. Like that is it. He just wants some love and nobody fucking gives it to him. And even like Tamari and the other guy's name, the puppet master guy, I fucking forget his name. Um, it seems like they weren't that close. Like they didn't help him at all, which I don't know. Like if it was because he was pushing them away, but you know they are family, and they weren't there. You know, so it was just something that really wasn't gone too far into. It kind of reminds me of of My Hero with what's his name? You know, the fire, the fire and ice guy. um, you know, how he was kept away from his siblings because he was the chosen one, you know, had both of fire and ice power. But either way, so that's what that reminded me of. Yeah, but Gara was done so dirty. And then when they bring him back, you know, during the Sasuke thing, and he saves Rock Lee, that was so well done. Sorry, it's like I gotta blow my nose when I ain't got no tissues. Um, that was so well done. Rock Lee is such a good character. Rock Lee and Guy, Mike Guy. Jeez, I just got to stutter there for a second. Their relationship is like kind of father and son is so well done. It makes me wonder like what his home relationship, like you know, his family's like. We some of these people, you know, we see their parents, and others we don't. Like you know, Ino. No, Ino we do see her dad, but it's like her mom, Sakura's mom or dad. I don't think we see them. Um, you know, like obviously Sasuke's parents are dead, but we seen them. Uh, yeah, so just some shit like that, where some of these parents we know, some of them don't, but I don't know anything about like Rock Lee, and I just like that. Like that's just such a good done relationship. I really enjoy uh, Rock Lee, but you know, if he was the main character, I think he'd get a bit annoying. But just like you know how he's in the show, not all the time, but you know a good chunk, and he's just a good character, and I like him. You know, and him interacting with everyone is pretty good. Like him and Neji have a good kind of rivalry, like Naruto and Sasuke had, but it's nowhere near as interesting. But yeah, so oh yeah, Kiba too. Kiba's a really good character. I enjoyed him and him. You know, what's it? Akamaru and you know him and his dog, which was really good. The dog's cool. You know, I'm trying to think of what my favorite like anime like dog creature character, you know, cute creature character is. Whatever. I don't think Akamaru's number one by any means, but pretty good character too. Just trying to see real quick. Uh, yeah. Oh, okay, I want to talk about the star hidden village hidden in the stars arc. I actually like that one. That was where I had a bit of a problem. Well, not actually, not that one, but um, you know, Neji, Tenten, and Naruto, which I felt like Naruto got done so dirty, like you know, in the site where it's just you know filler basically, but it's like there he's the last choice every single time. Um, Actually, I kind of want to go back and talk about that a little bit because you know I really thought it was interesting. I remember that there was like you know a fifth Hokage, whatever, but I completely forgot about what happened in the third Hokage, and I just didn't expect him to die. Like, I guess you know because it was after watching Bleach, it's like who dies? Like really, who dies? Except for Gin. That's it. Like that is it. Which I guess spoilers for Bleach or whatever. My bad, but um you know, so I was kind of in that mode of like, oh, no one's gonna die, you know, whatever. So he dies fighting Orochimaru, which Orochimaru's interesting as a villain, but I feel like he is not on that level yet, of where he's like, yeah, he's a piece of shit, and I want him to get his ass beat, like 100%. But he is not. I don't think he's like near that level of Oh my fucking god, what's the guy's name? You know, the main villain in Bleach. I literally know his name, but it's like blocked. But you know that guy, he was fucking crazy. You know he had that super manipulative, which is like Orochimaru. You know he's manipulative, whatever. but he just had it in this such cool way, like always calm, cool, and collected, like just like awesome. I don't know, but that was done in a way where I like him as a villain, and I'm not sure if he's the main villain of the whole series. I could see him being that because it seems like that's kind of how it is, basically. So yeah, but him doing that, and then we get the the fifth Hokage. I really liked Tsunade. I like how Naruto calls her Grandma Tsunade. Um, it just that whole thing with Jiraiya. Jiraiya is a really good character too, and he's pervy. And that's is a cliche, but it's all right. By the way, Naruto's like transformation, like harem jutsu shit is hilarious. Like when he does that in the beginning of the show, it's really funny. Um, I'm going off on a tangent, but him and Aruka Sensei's relationship is good, where it's like kind of father and son like. Once again, it's like that's the closest thing he has to like a father because nobody really cared about him or like it was sad. It was just sad. But either way, so that was something. But Tsunade, that whole arc with Jiraiya and all that shit. Sorry, that arc with Jiraiya and Tsunade. Going back into that, it was really cool. We got to see him master the Rasengan, whatever. In 7 days, Tsunade's like talking shit about the Hokage and everything, and it was like, oh, her beloved and her brother died, and that shit was like kind of crazy because her brother died. Like I thought that was really crazy how he died like one day after they gave him the pendant, and they say that like it was the day after his birthday. And anyway, so Naruto wins the pendant. I like how he wears it all the time, even though we don't see it. Just a cool thing where it's like, oh, it was from the first Hokage, and she kind of entrusted him, and she believes he could be Hokage someday. So like in the later episodes where she kind of just puts him on the fucking sidelines and is like, don't do shit, go away, like we don't have anything for you, you can't go after Sasuke, which is reasonable. It's like you're not finding him, like you're not you're not there yet. I kind of felt like as soon as he left, it's like, it's like, oh, it's years until Orochimaru can transfer into his body. It was like, okay, so it's so we got time. There's no way you're like getting it until like probably right before the deadline. So yeah. Anyway, so that was something. But liked her, like I said. I think she's the third Hokage is definitely a better leader, but I think she's a more interesting, fleshed out character. Where she's flawed, she's like gets drunk and gambles all the time and all that shit. So it was good. And Tauntaun, I love Tauntaun. I think Tauntaun beats Akamaru. The pig's just cute as fuck, and then the the voice actress whoever does that, it's just like oink oink like the that was nowhere near what she sounds like. But I also want to go into the music. I'm jumping around now, but the music fucking slaps. Most of it, not all of it. The openings and closings. I mean, I don't really think there was one for me. I kept skipping them. There just wasn't one for me that was a bop, like where I was, a bop, whatever. But that was really good. I just didn't feel any of that. So for me, there wasn't anything. Like Bleach had the first one, and then the second one, and then a later one I forget where I would still skip them, but it was really good. Naruto, the first one was good, I think. But others like there wasn't one that was a standout. But like the in universe whatever music, like the sad thing, and they pull out the fucking guitar, what not guitar, the I feel like it's that like Indian strumming thing, whatever that they use like in the Love Guru. That was crazy. I just pulled that out of nowhere, but it probably isn't that because it sounds more Chinese to me. Could be wrong, but that shit slaps. The sad one, and then like the upbeat kind of like they do in like cool action moments, like where someone will show up. That's so well done. Like the music is just really good. I just think like a lot of these shows, even if they like end up having bad openings or endings, they have like good songs like that in universe. Um, yeah, so that was cool. Anyway, so I'm gonna go back into the um, yeah, no, I'm gonna go back into the just trying to think. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the Star Village in the Star arc. Like I said, another one of those missions. But it was good. I enjoyed it, and it didn't go on for too long. You know, there is no 30 fucking episode arcs here. There's short, like 4 to 6 episode arcs. You know, sometimes just one or two, but it's like that is what I'm talking about. Even if it's just too long, like Bleach was too long. It's just even if I don't like it, the relationships between the characters can kind of get me through to 4 episodes. But if you're telling me 30 episodes, hell no. Like, we're not going there. But anyway, the Star arc. That was really well done. I really liked it. I'm just one, I had a complaint. Now, I feel like they kind of addressed this because I had it when I was watching it. I just jotted it down. I didn't erase it. But Sumaru, is like the kind of asshole character who ends up turning around at the end. He wants to be Hokage or whatever it is. Because they have different names. It's not just Hokage. Of his village, which his village is just like, there ain't shit. Like, they're nothing there, so they're not one of the five great nations. Whatever. Anyway, so he wants to be Hokage. I'm just gonna call it Hokage because I really can't remember what it is, and it really doesn't matter. But his mother and father, died getting the star, trying to steal the star because using the star training gives you power, but it kills you. And I felt like she did him so fucking dirty as a kid. Like I was watching that, and the Hokage, the whatever, who's the old man Hokage, who he's just like, okay, but you have to pretend to die or whatever, and then you will watch over in case anyone tries to use the star for training again. And it was like, and they're just like, okay, so they just leave the fucking kid, like just abandon him, right? And I get like on one hand, it's not an evil thing. It's like for the village, basically like what the fourth Hokage did, to Naruto. Like you sealed the beast inside your child just to fucking like save the village. So it was like the greater good type shit, but kind of doing them dirty, like your flesh and blood, kind of I don't know if throwing them under the bus is the right term, but just kind of not the best choice for them for the other people. The needs of the few out. The need whatever. Needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So stuff like that. So that was something where I was like, okay, but then he finds out she's alive, like the mom's alive, the dad's dead, and they don't give a shit about the dad. Like it is like Sumer is just like mom, 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 mom. Like fuck the dad, I guess. Like, it's not like he was a piece of shit or anything. He was a nice guy, it seems like too. But it's like he only gives a shit his mom's dead. Like, like goddamn, like fuck him, I guess. Like, but either way, that's just neither here nor there. But he finds out she's alive. Da 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 da. They have this moment where he's actually pissed at her. I respect that, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's reasonable. Like, you left me. You fucking abandoned me here. Uh, you've been here all this time. Like, I was whatever. And they end up having that moment where they both get beaten up by the villain, which immediately the guy's the villain. Like he looks creepy as fuck, and there's basically no time where someone looks creepy as fuck and then they aren't creepy. Like even the guy, like the big guy who was in the delinquent ninjas or whatever it was. I don't think it was delinquent ninjas. It was I can't remember, but it was like that. And then there was that big guy who's taking care of the kids, like who saved the kids, and he didn't look creepy to me. But either way, going back to this, so I knew he was the villain from the start. It's like creepy as fuck. Ain't have no eyebrows, I think. Um, yeah. So either way, so they get beaten up. They wake up, and he's like, at first I thought he was gonna be like, "Don't touch me," like get away from me when she does that. When she kind of reaches out towards him, but then he forgives her and goes in for the hug, right? And then this is the moment where I'm going in, where I said going in. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Where I wrote this down, where he wakes up and she's gone, and she has once again left to go steal the star, and fucking abandon her son basically, which is what she does. Once again, it is what she does, And I'm sitting here and I'm like, you just got his forgiveness and you're doing this shit again. And once again, you can't be too mad because yes, it makes sense. Like it makes sense for the village needs of the many. But it's just like from a personal standpoint, I felt like that was such like an asshole move again. Um, but anyway, he's not mad at her. Whatever. She's dead. She writes some fucking spirit thing in her own blood, and she becomes like a spirit who covers Naruto in this protective thing, and he defeats the guy. Which for the most part, they were like, Neji was like, "Don't let we can't fight this. That guy hired us. We're not supposed to do it." And that made sense to me. I was like, okay, yeah, like it's a bit annoying, but I understand that. But then he ends up beating the guy's ass. Anyway, yeah, so that was cool. And she dies and whatever. And Naruto had a good moment, some good moments with her where it was like I felt like it was really well done where it's like, you want that parent that's not, that he never had. I have that, my one, for one of my parents, they're not dead, they're just pieces of shit, but it's just like you want that relationship that you just can't have, and you see someone else with it, and you're kind of like sad. So it was like that, and he had like a good like where it was kind of like, what it was like if he would have had a mother or whatever. Um, I don't really think I have too much else to say. Just some light things. Uh, some of the land of names are fucking stupid. Like the land of candy, the land of rice patties. Like stupid as fuck. Like just weak. Um, yeah. So oh yeah. So Neji had a bit of a problem with him during the I forget. There's a name for it, but the arc where the guy loses his memories and they have to protect this village or whatever, and like he just doesn't give a shit. Like basically, like he's like we can't help these villagers, whatever. And like I said during the Land of Stars one, that made sense to me. Where it's like, okay, yeah, the guy hired you, but it's like this guy's with you. There's nothing urgent you need to do. Like stay protect them, and he's just like no. And then Naruto and the guy who forgot his memories. I forgot his name. Are just building this fucking wall, and Tenten and him are just sitting there watching, and they're doing it for like I don't know how long, but it seemed like sun up to sun down, and then sun up again. I don't know how long it was, but and they're just sleeping like they're fucking oh shit. But either way, I just felt like that was like where I was kind of like I was even looking down on Tenten. I'm like, come on, like help them out at least. You're just sitting there. But anyway, but they end up helping, whatever. This whole plan was good. The guy died. I didn't expect that. Like I said, Bleach, nobody fucking dies. so, so just, it's, it's a nice change of pace. Like, I don't want people to die like characters I like, but it's just like that. I need that emotional shit, like when the third Hokage died, and then they had that funeral. And I felt that, the third Hokage wasn't super duper fleshed out, but he was, we knew his past somewhat. We knew, he was a great guy who took care of everyone. He took, well, not everyone. Well, yeah, kind of everyone, Didn't take care of Naruto as much as he should, is kind of what I'm thinking. Um, and, came back to being Okage when he was needed. So it was just, great character, and then he dies fighting Orochimaru, which he, cuts his arms or whatever, so he can't use chakra. No, he ends up using chakra. I don't know exactly what he did. Like he was trying to pull the soul from his fucking body, and he ends up just getting his arms because he's too old. But then when they're going to get Tsunade, they have that fight, and yeah, he's not at 100%, but it was like, what, did you really fucking do anything to him? And then he just transfers bodies and then he's fine. Like his shit's back. Like I don't, I don't know. I felt like he did like the third Okage didn't die for enough. Basically, like he did. What did he do? Like he stopped the village from being destroyed. I guess temporarily, whatever. But for Orochimaru, I mean, basically, like he just kind of didn't do shit to him because he just switched bodies. And that was it. Which yeah, he should have killed Orochimaru in the beginning. Like that's definitely his biggest fuck up. But yeah, so that funeral was really good. Like that death, just well done, I guess, basically. But Um, yeah, I think that's about it. I know I said that before. Just things keep popping in my head. I'm really, like I said, I'm really interested. There are two things I really want to see. One is the fourth Hokage, Naruto's mother, all that shit. I know that pops up. I don't know when in Shippuden, but and then one other thing I really, really want to see is, I know it's probably not going to do anything too big, but I want to see when they find out that he has the nine-tailed fox inside him, like Shikamaru, Sakura, um, Hinata. Hinata won't care that much. Their relationship, like I root for them romantically. I'm rooting for them. Fuck Sakura. Like Naruto, you can do better, bro. Like let's Sasuke have her, dude. But yeah, so that's all I can think of at the moment. I'm about to run out of video, which is probably good because I'd be like just going on and on. I'm already doing that, but yeah. So I feel like there's something else I want to mention, but I just don't have the time. So anyway, that's about it for this video. Peace.